in recent boxing history, and now what will Bud Crawford offer up? You know, you get that sense, you just hear Bud right there. There's a candor to him that makes him incredibly likable and yet somewhat treacherous. The tail of the tape is presented by Geico. And Bud Crawford, you look at the numbers and you realize he's in the hurt business. 47.5% of his power punches connect. And keep in mind, the majority of that work is being done against world-class opponents, winning titles in 3 weight classes. And now he goes up against a sturdy, solid, durable title challenger in Egidijus Kavaliauskas. Egidijus Kavaliauskas is from Lithuania, but he has taken to Southern California, and in training there, he has seen his career grow. He is a stablemate of Vasily Lomachenko, and so many of those top Eastern Europeans are a part of his life. And now this is a chance to launch himself into that stratosphere of boxing with riches and fame like Lomachenko. He gets the chance because he's fighting the king, the best American fighter there is. Deep down a hallway here at MSG starts the long walk for Nebraska's, as you see on the silks, Bud Crawford. The list of the world's best pound-per-pound fighters includes, of course, a Ukrainian, Loma, and a Mexican, Canelo, and a knockout artist from Japan in Inoue. And then many feel, here we have the best American from Omaha. Not Brooklyn, not LA, not Vegas, but he's authentic and grounded in his Midwest roots, Omaha, Nebraska. You spend time with Bud and you talk to him about where his mind goes at these moments. And he talks about not the fact that he's seeking belts or fame or the giant multi-million-dollar purses he claims. He seeks greatness. And this is where you claim greatness. In this sport, it's this ring, it's this place, Madison Square Garden. Those last precious moments. And now Bud and Team Crawford, he's loyal to the core of this group that's been with him every step of the way since he first overcame so much in North Omaha. After a spectacular knockout, just earned a lightweight championship. Now we go up to 147 pounds for the guy many claim as the best in the biz in all the world. Bud Crawford title defense against Egidijus Kavaliauskas. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the world's most famous arena, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated presents the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Geico and Allegiant Airlines. We are sanctioned by the WBO, the president, Francisco Valcarcel. Introducing our 3 judges, scoring from ringside, Ron McNair, Waleska Roldan, and Tom Schreck. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO welterweight championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Madison Square Garden in New York City, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim. He is fighting out of Oxnard, California by way of Kaunas, Lithuania. He weighed in at 146.6 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 21 wins, no losses, 1 draw with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making his first attempt at a world title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the two-time Olympian and the current undefeated WBO #1 ranked welterweight world contender, introducing Egidijus Mean Machine Kavaliauskas. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with white and red trim. He is boxing's pride of Omaha, Nebraska. He weighed in at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds. His sensational record stands at 35 wins, no losses, 26 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the acclaimed pound-for-pound great, tonight making his 14th consecutive world title appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the renowned 3-division world champion, the undefeated, reigning and defending WBO welterweight champion of the world, introducing Terence Crawford. And our referee in charge now to give instructions for our main event, Ricky Gonzalez.
Okay, gentlemen, you received instructions in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch them up.
Bud Crawford, sort of a human weapon, a man so skilled with his hands and so determined and committed to his job. Bud is a great dad, lovable guy back home, but there comes a moment, and you see it right here, where he flips that switch and he gets hyper focused, and as we said, his task, he's in the hurt business.
That's right.
So here we go, round -- 1. Timmy, give me something to look for early here with Crawford, who typically dissects, probes, solves, and then undoes.
You just said it. You know, he's going to take his time. He's going to box on the outside. Kavaliauskas is a power puncher, so he needs to be close. He needs to get close. He's a shorter arm fighter. So Bud's just going to dictate pace. And the way you do that is with ring generalship and also using a stiff, sharp jab. One thing I want to point out is Bud can switch from orthodox to southpaw. He came out in the southpaw stance, so you want to focus on the front feet of both fighters, the front foot. Heads can clash as well because both of the power shots land on the same side.
Dre, it's one thing to be a switch hitter where you have the ability to box in both stances, both the orthodox right-hand stance and the southpaw left-hand stance. It's another thing to have great power, to be able to knock a guy out as a switch hitter. Bud has proven that throughout his career.
He has. It's very rare. He has equal skills from both stances and equal power. You don't have to prepare for one style. You have to prepare for multiple styles when you face Terence Bud Crawford.
Camp can get real expensive when you're training for Bud Crawford. You got to pay for southpaw sparring and orthodox sparring.
I think Kavaliauskas is waiting because he doesn't want to overcommit and get caught by Terence Crawford, that left hand in that left-handed stance.
That's exactly what he's doing, and he just took the jab downstairs on Crawford. You rarely ever see guys go to Crawford's body.
The glaring difference right now for me are not the hands, but the feet. Terence Crawford has educated feet, trained feet. Kavaliauskas doesn't. He likes to be still. They're not very quick. He doesn't really have a lot of creativity down low.
Doubling up that jab is Crawford. He will range find a bit. By the way, long arms and always can maximize his range on that frame. He's only 5'8", but he fights as a longer fighter. Heisman night here in New York. A night that now has become tradition rich with Top Rank Boxing at MSG. And there is Johnny Rogers, Heisman winner from Nebraska. Big Red well represented, of course, and Bud Crawford so loyal to the fans. The mouthpiece tonight is Cornhuskers for Bud. Of course, Nebraska has the rich Heisman history and a current boxing pound-for-pound elite. 3 Heisman Trophy winners. You just saw Rogers sitting here ringside. Mike Rozier in '83. Eric Crouch in 2001. All of college football's pound-for-pound guys, right? And then there's Terence Crawford, now a 3-division champion. He started off with the WBO lightweight title. He was the undisputed guy at 140 pounds, had all 4 belts after he knocked out Julius Ndongo, and most recently taking this WBO welterweight championship. Told you, so loyal to his home state, and one of the home state's ultimate football heroes here ringside to see Bud tonight. Crawford's last fight was right here on April 20th. That was the TKO against the former super lightweight world champion Amir Khan. And he started fast that night. Remember, he scored a knockdown in the first round with a right hand. Khan is faster, more experienced, more skilled than Kavaliauskas. But Kavaliauskas is more sturdy, far sturdier fighter, stronger. Doesn't have the wear and tear and the miles on the odometer or been through what Khan had been through prior to that point.
And that's why Crawford started fast in that fight, because the scouting report on Amir Khan was that he couldn't take a shot. So why not catch him early while he's cold? Crawford did that. In this fight, it's a little bit different. Kavaliauskas is sturdy, like you said. He's got a strong jab, strong right hand, and you have to be smart before you start to stay in there close. Right now, Crawford is trying to set the table so he can eat later, and Kavaliauskas is hoping that he can eat a little bit later down the road as well.
And right now, you're seeing the table setting is the placement of that southpaw jab from Crawford.
That's the second right hand that I've seen from Kavaliauskas. You know, when you're fighting a southpaw, that's the punch you're looking for. You're looking for the right hand. And Kavaliauskas took the first one downstairs, and right there, he just tried one up top, and just a little bit off the mark.
See Crawford masterful with that range, isn't he?
I like the patience of Kavaliauskas. He's not rushing in there. He doesn't want to get countered. You know, he's taking his time, trying to get Terence Crawford comfortable.
Terence trying to touch him with that left hand to the body. Patient Kavaliauskas, see if he takes that nudge forward and fires off that jab again.
I like the patience of Kavaliauskas as well, too. Even though his feet aren't fast, he understands his range and where he needs to be. He's landing some good jabs, and he's in this fight, and he's thinking just like Crawford's thinking.
I don't know if that's a good thing, because you don't want a sharpshooter like Crawford to be sitting back thinking. You know, he should. Oh,
good exchange that time. Right hand came in.
Terence Crawford pulled straight out, threw a combination, left his head right in the middle, pulled straight back, and was hit with the right hand from Kavaliauskas.
And remember, Kavaliauskas said to us, I can't leave any punches in the ring. You have to take advantage of the few opportunities that come your way. That was an opportunity, and he took advantage. Well done by Egidijus Coming to the end of round 2 here. Welterweight championship fight at Madison Square Garden. You got that? Reminder that UFC 245, Usman and Covington, is available on ESPN Plus. And the way this time's out, you can head over there and see that main event at the conclusion of what we have here on ESPN with Crawford and Kavaliauskas. In that second round, Crawford came forward for a moment. Kavaliauskas had a better moment when he landed the good right hand.
That's right. Terence Crawford going right into the wheelhouse of Kavaliauskas. Kavaliauskas is a short arm fighter. Threw a nice little jab right there and a beautiful right hand and got Terence Crawford's attention. Crawford coming out kind of fat with those punches, coming out too wide. He needs to shorten those shots up if he wants to step inside.
So best work we've seen so far in the early goings goes to the challenger from Lithuania.
Well, Kavaliauskas is a 2-time Olympian. He knows how to fight. He knows how to deal with styles. He's no slouch. He's undefeated for a reason.
Olympic Games in 2008 and 2012. The #1 challenger in the WBO.
See, the patience of Kavaliauskas is getting to Terence right now. He thought he was getting a bull. Right now, he's getting a smart, methodical Kavaliauskas. A guy that went back to the drawing board after that draw against Ray Robinson.
Yeah, that can throw you off when you see a guy who's always aggressive, and then all of a sudden he's waiting and playing this, this chess game with you. It takes a moment to kind of wrap your brain around that and make.
Oh, Kavaliauskas comes forward, and Bud Crawford was hurt. And they're ruling that a slip. But Kavaliauskas came straight ahead and pulled the trigger and got Bud Crawford.
There he is, Crawford pulling straight back with his hands extended.
Crawford's hurt from that shot, y'all.
What do we have here? A stunning development early in round 3 here.
It's the patience of Kavaliauskas. That's what's getting to Terence. Terence wants to get to him. He must be smart.
A right hand from Kavaliauskas.
And Terence,
that's the beauty of this game. All it takes is one punch. There's always a puncher's chance.
When Terence is counterpunching, he's coming out too wide. That's the reason why he's getting countered short by Kavaliauskas.
I got to disagree a little bit, Tim. I think it's just in the exchanges. That's where Kavaliauskas is having his best work, is in the exchange. We know Terence is not afraid to exchange. That's when Kavaliauskas is timing him and landing clean shots.
But Terence is coming out a little bit too fat with those punches.
He's actually catching Terence on the way in, though.
Watch your speed, watch your speed.
That's how he did it in the second round as well with the right hand.
Pulling back with his hands down.
And now Crawford looks to exchange and pop a right hand. And now Crawford goes to the body. And look at the action we have here in round 3 as Kavaliauskas, another exchange. You never know what you're going to get. Incredible third round for Egidijus Kavaliauskas. We're going to show you how he did it. And again, it was the right hand as Terence Crawford clearly affected there.
Kavaliauskas has done what he's done all fight. He's timed Terence coming in, or when he's waiting, he landed that shot right on the chin. He hurt Terence bad, and I'm not sure why that wasn't called a knockdown, Joe.
Here comes the right hand.
Another shot over the top, and Terence is posing. He's looking at Kavaliauskas as if he's not supposed to punch. Kavaliauskas came to win this fight tonight.
And then there was just simply the grappling with the arms. The feet never got tied up, but it was ruled a slip. It most likely should have been ruled a knockdown for Kavaliauskas. But still, now in back-to-back rounds, good work with the right hand for the upset-minded title challenger. And the power punches through 3 rounds. Kavaliauskas is landing 42% as they exchange here. And Crawford's landing 30%. He had a 19-10 power connect edge through 3.
So
let's check in with Bernardo.
Terence was not hurt. He's good. He recovered well. I didn't think it was a knockdown. All he needs to do is keep his hands up and not get caught in those exchanges.
That's the report from the corner of Crawford. There was another right hand moments ago from Kavaliauskas. Remember, he's in that southpaw stance, and the right hand is the southpaw killer. That's
right.
What does damage against southpaws. Perhaps Terence should go back orthodox.
I think Crawford is eating before he's setting the table. We talked about that earlier, Joe Tess. I'm not sure why he's been standing in front of Kavaliauskas all night long. I anticipated, and I think Kavaliauskas anticipated Crawford moving, boxing, and then trying to come to him mid to late in the fight. I think Crawford's doing a little bit too much too soon.
Crawford right now is picking up the tempo on
He sure is. He's willing to trade. Look at this.
Go hold behind the head. Don't do that.
These right hands have now brought out the fight in Crawford.
Right.
They are exchanging in the middle of the ring.
Crawford right now didn't like the way the first half of their fight or the first part of this fight is going. And now he's stepping up the tempo on Kavaliauskas, and he's trying to push him back.
I appreciate the bite down in Crawford, but I still think it's too early. I don't like the 50-50 exchanges, especially with a guy like Kavaliauskas who has his feet planted and he's getting that big right hand off and he's landing it.
50-50 exchanges when you're this level of world champion. They give the underdog a great chance. Sweeping body shot from Bud Crawford. This crowd is loving this title fight already. The unexpected drama thanks to the right hands of Kavaliauskas. Crawford was looking to time that left hand. World title fight at Madison Square Garden. And then you add in the fact that the upset-minded challenger has come out red hot. Kavaliauskas has landed a couple big right hands, and now you can hear the buzz. People wondering, how will this play out? Bud Crawford, who is used to dominating the competition, has a guy coming to him now. And Andre Ward's scorecard has it 2 rounds apiece. Bud takes the first round, likely takes the last. But the second and third round, when Kavaliauskas landed flush with the right hands. In the last 2 rounds, Kavaliauskas is enjoying a 37-24 edge in punches landed. There are the power punches where he has a 31-21 connect advantage.
That's right now. Crawford wants to be first. That's what he's doing right now, and he wants to be last. He wants to start the exchanges, and he also wants to finish the exchanges.
I don't like this game plan right now from Crawford. He's fighting fire with fire. He's getting hit with shots he shouldn't be getting hit with this early in the fight. Kavaliauskas has only been 10 rounds 2 times, never been 12. Why not weaken him, get him a little bit,
I agree.
Fatigued, and then start standing there and exchanging if that's what you want to do. Too much, too soon for Crawford.
It's called go to the body, Dre. Go to the body. Slow down the stronger fighter.
If you're Kavaliauskas, keep doing what you're doing.
Kavaliauskas just got to let his hands go, Dre. That's all he got to do. Every time Crawford gets close, he needs to just let those bombs go. He's hurt right now. Kavaliauskas is hurt with that shot.
And Bud senses it here. A minute to go in round 5. Bud Crawford, here he is stepping to the challenger, who just moments ago was filled with hope. And now he's willing to come forward with a right hand.
Crawford just sniffed something out. He sniffed him out. He knows that he don't like the pressure.
And let me tell you something. Crawford doesn't mind this at all. As much as strategy could say go elsewhere with it, Crawford doesn't mind a fight. Well, it's always been in him.
Right, this is the competitiveness and this is the bite down you see from Crawford. He's trying to break Kavaliauskas right now. And if Kavaliauskas is going to avoid getting knocked out and have a shot in this fight, he's got to bite down right back.
Bite down.
What you see from Crawford right now is attitude. You hurt me, you embarrass me a little bit. Nobody wants to be hurt. So I'm trying to get that back, and that's what Crawford's trying to do.
But he got to be careful.
Combination comes in from Crawford. He has taken control here in this 5th round. He shakes that off. The ESPN boxing schedule heats up in 2020. We got Jesse Hart, Joe Smith on January 11th. We got Eleider Alvarez, the recent light heavyweight champion, against Michael Seals on January 18th. And then from China on Super Bowl weekend, the WBC junior welterweight champion Jose Ramirez against Victor Postal. That from China. What a way to celebrate Super Bowl weekend. And right now it's round 6 with Crawford and Kavaliauskas, and a chance to check in with Max and Mark.
Look, Crawford may have just turned the tide in that last round, and he could out-will and out-tough even a strong-willed tough guy. But when you stop doing the things that got you there, you become ordinary in those respects. And Crawford fighting out of the southpaw stance. Kavaliauskas' best shot is the right hand against the southpaw in this fight. Why hasn't he turned orthodox?
And why doesn't New York use instant replay? I thought what happened earlier was a knockdown. First time I recall Crawford being hurt since 2014 in Gamboa.
It was absolutely a knockdown, clearly a knockdown.
No doubt about it, guys. That was after the right hand from Kavaliauskas. They grappled a bit. The feet did not get tied up, but it was not ruled a knockdown. Here we are in round 6.
Joe Tessitore, the why for Crawford is defiance. He's refusing to turn right-handed because he wants to prove a point. I know that your right hand, Kavaliauskas, is your best punch, and I know that's the easiest punch that a southpaw is susceptible to, but I'm going to stay like this anyway.
No, you would know his psyche as well as anybody's, Ray. It was an excellent visit you had with him recently. I know he's got great respect for everything you've done in your career.
Nice changeup from Terence Crawford. Led with the straight left and came with the nice little right hand to jab. Beautiful combination.
Listen, Crawford has home run written on every punch that he throws. In his mind right now, the only way he feels like he can right the wrong with Kavaliauskas hurting him early on is to knock Kavaliauskas out. He's not boxing tonight, so I'm going to stop calling for it.
Crawford got to be careful. Every time he shoots a shot,
let him go. Stop.
Kavaliauskas is answering.
He was sitting on a hook.
Really impressed with the timing of Kavaliauskas.
Yes.
I am too. That has been why he's had his moments of success tonight. Coming to the halfway point of now this greatly intriguing welterweight championship. Back here at Madison Square Garden. Joe, Tim, and Dre ringside with you. Bernardo, our ace reporter. Round number 7. Terence Bud Crawford, 35-0 with 26 knockouts against the Mean Machine, Kavaliauskas, who was coming off of a mediocre performance after rising up the rankings and then becomes the #1 challenger, unbeaten himself, but a big underdog, and yet he has fought about as good a fight as he can fight to this point. Bernardo is in the corner of Terence Crawford with Brian McIntyre.
Bomac, what are you asking for Terence to do to take control of this fight?
I'm looking for him so he can get more rhythm, so he can be a little bit more dangerous. Right now he don't got no rhythm, but it looked like he might be coming into it now.
Is he emotional in this fight because he got tagged in that second round?
No, he's not.
There's a combination that lands right there from Kavaliauskas.
I think he liked this competition.
What about turning to the south, from the southpaw to the orthodox stance?
Once he feel it, he'll go to it.
You're not asking him for it?
No, once he feel it, he'll go to it.
Thank you very much, Bomac.
Does that surprise you that the trainer is saying it's on the fighter?
It is on the fighter, Joe, because I think they're telling Terence the right things. They had a game plan, and I'm not sure this was the game plan, but sometimes as a fighter, you're stubborn. You just don't want to box. You want to fight. Tim, you know a little something about that?
Exactly.
Listen, I know a little something about that, and that's what we're seeing from Crawford tonight. You can't explain it. It just happens. You don't want to move. You don't want to box. You just want to compete and fight, and that's what Crawford's doing.
Well, it's fun to watch, that's for sure.
Crawford's having success when he's marching forward and punishing Kavaliauskas to the body.
And again, I'm not sure from Kavaliauskas if I do anything different.
Look at that. Look at that. That's what you got to do right there.
There's a left uppercut from Crawford. He steps right into that kitchen.
He's smelling it now. He's orthodox now. He smells the knockout.
And now, as a righty, Crawford comes in. There's a three-punch combination from the champ. Oh, and Kavaliauskas comes back and lands a combination zone. And Crawford just nails him. 20 seconds remains, round number 7. Kavaliauskas goes down. You want to fight? Here comes Bud.
One of the best finishers in the boxing.
Looking for the uppercut, straight right hand. Oh, he's got Kavaliauskas hurt here. Looking to finish him here in the final seconds of round 7. Kavaliauskas willing to trade. My, oh my, is that good stuff.
This kid is an animal.
Continue, put the ice in the back, put the ice in the back. Give me the ice back. Okay. And wait a minute, okay? Every time.
You feel comfortable going back out there right-handed? All right, punch him. Make sure you use your jab. Double up your jab, okay? All right, double up your jab. Down, and he's gonna be moving that head, so you throw those jabs on his shoulders and his body. Stab you, okay? Make sure you keep your hands up because he's gonna be looking for that right hand, okay? And a wild left foot. That's his savior.
The knockdown scored in the 7th round.
Yeah, this is attitude right here. Beautiful shot behind the ear from Terence Crawford. He's willing his way to a knockout victory against Kavaliauskas. He took exception to being hurt. He feels like he's the #1 fighter in the world, and you're not supposed to hurt me. And he's making Kavaliauskas pay for everything that he did early on in this fight.
In that 7th round, Terence Crawford landed a fight-high 23 power punches and threw 39. Let's see if he quickly gets back to that form.
Terence has felt the punching power of Kavaliauskas. He's not being fazed by it. He's going to step to him the rest of the way.
And you heard Brian McIntyre, a.k.a. Bo-Mac, his longtime mentor and trainer, say to him, are you comfortable staying right-handed? The answer is yes, and that is how he did damage in that 7th round. Good work doubling up the left hand from Kavaliauskas. Bud did have the right arm pinned, trying to block most of that with the elbow. Kavaliauskas willing to work on the inside.
I think that's a ploy from Crawford. He just wants to get Kavaliauskas opening up. Crawford is looking right now for that opening, and he's going to explode here in just a few seconds.
Well, you can see him ready to snap with that jab. There's that right hand that Bud wants to land.
Yeah, but if Bud starts at the body, the head will be open.
He just did. He had a sweeping left hand to the body and then came upstairs. And now Kavaliauskas right in the kitchen with a combination, including the left hand. Double right uppercut from Crawford.
A little lean forward from Kavaliauskas. Crawford made way with 2 uppercuts in the inside.
Fan-friendly fight with these two. And the champ made a decision to have it that way, responding to what happened in the 2nd and 3rd round from the title challenger. He smiles and shakes it off and then goes with a 4-punch combination.
But all those shots are to the head. He needs to get those shots down to the body to bring the hands down to Kavaliauskas.
And now back to that southpaw stance where he splits the guard with a left hand. You can see Crawford talking into that right ear of Kavaliauskas as he pushes him back into that blue corner.
Attitude. Can't teach that.
Kavaliauskas got to let that right hand go. As soon as Terence Crawford gets close, He needs to throw a right hand, a looping right hand. He needs to throw a shot at Crawford to back him up off of him.
He's throwing, he just ain't backing him up.
Crawford very comfortable standing right in front, punching between punches as Kavaliauskas drives him straight back and ties up. And that'll get him through round number 8. Great night here at MSG. So many football celebrities, so many boxing notables in the crowd.
He's still in the fight, he's still got the power. He's getting confident, you gotta fire back when he's getting confident, okay? When he's giving you this,
there is Jose Ramirez.
But don't wait for his counter.
He is ringside.
Okay? When he's doing this shit, okay?
Watching the action closely, 140-pound world champion.
You gotta keep boxing me. You gotta make him keep up with you, okay? All right? Use that jab up and down, okay? Hook off of it. That right hand is low. You can
higher. Make him finish fight. One of your punches can still put his ass away, okay? He started good, and at the end, he just caught him.
Every time Bud Crawford goes down to the body, when he starts to the body, it sets up the head shot. Nice right hand after going to the body first, starting with that body work.
Crawford brought Kavaliauskas right to him, sat inside. Kavaliauskas got lazy with his chin on the platter, and Terence Crawford took full advantage.
The last 2 rounds, Crawford has a 50-38 edge in punches landed. Round number 9.
Crawford took that last round off, and
he's got a rhythm to him right now.
Yeah, he's back.
Oh, a lunging left hand that backs up Kavaliauskas. Then an uppercut, an absolutely brilliant uppercut.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Remember, he is one of the best closers in the business. Let's watch how he does it here. One punch, that's it. Bud Crawford, title defense. Ninth round knockout in a thriller. Far more drama than we ever thought we would have. But the champ just acted like one.
44 seconds. 44 seconds. Well, let's go. 44, you got it?
Something's just different about him, isn't it?
A lot is different about
it. Really is.
He is a mean mama jama. I'm telling you that. Mean.
Let's show you the first knockdown that came early here in round number 9.
Just like Drake said, it's attitude. It's attitude, people. Terence Crawford wasn't happy. Mauling him, came around with the looping left hand, hurting Kavaliauskas, getting him against the ropes, and then look at the uppercut, how he sneaks it up the middle as Kavaliauskas leaned forward just a little bit, and he found a way with that nice uppercut.
Yeah, it's not difficult. Terence Crawford made up his mind, and I'm going to stop you for hurting me, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get that done, whether I'm in a southpaw stance or the right-hand stance. And Kavaliauskas felt every bit of Terence Crawford tonight, and he realized that his levels to the game, and this dude has an intensity that's different than most.
And here's the end of the fight. Terence Crawford again attacking with that looping left hand. It was available for him earlier. And here it is again. Nice little uppercut. Coming around. Down goes Kavaliauskas. Got to get that last punch. Beautiful right hook right here.
Yeah, that hurt.
Right on the ear.
That hurt.
And down goes Kavaliauskas. And that was the end of the fight right there. Amazing work from Terence Crawford.
It was, wasn't it? Closed the show landing 12 of 14 power shots. As you know, in this sport, the ringing of the bell symbolizes the end of the fight. And for patients with cancer and their healthcare team, the ringing of the bell signals the end of an active treatment and the beginning of a life free of cancer. So I want everybody right to my left right now, and I'm so thrilled that she's here with us, to please welcome Ava Kingsley, who recently completed her cancer treatment at Sloan Kettering Cancer Center here in New York. Go ahead, ring that bell. And now here's Jimmy Lennon.
The time, 44 seconds of round number 9. Our referee in charge, Ricky Gonzalez, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, and still the undefeated WBO welterweight champion of the world, Terence "Bud" Crawford.
Well, we are asked to vote for the pound-for-pound list every so often. The three of us at this table look at the body of work, we look at the way he's done it, we look at how long he's done it, and how he goes about his business. And time and again, we fill out our ballot and say Terence Crawford is the #1 fighter in the world. As his mom, Miss Deborah, dances her way into the ring to celebrate with her son. Bernardo.
This has to be mom in the ring, Miss Deb, and your sweetheart as well, the wife of Terence Crawford, a family man. Terence, you turned this into a street fight. Is that the point you wanted to make?
First and foremost, I like to thank God, because without him, none of this would be possible. But I thought I'd entertain y'all for a little bit, you know. He's a strong fighter. He's adorable. And I thought I'd give you the crowd something to cheer for and be excited about.
Round 2, he caught you. It looked like a knockdown. It wasn't counted as one. How hurt were you?
I wasn't hurt at all. As you see, I got up and went straight to him. You know, he caught me with a good shot. As I was bending down, he kind of pushed me, you know, and I was just like, all right, you know, now let's step to him, because I wasn't hurt by no means. As you can see, I walked through everything he threw all night.
We talked about the fact that he didn't talk leading into this fight. There was no animosity, but you had that mean streak at the end in the finish. Walk us through that beautiful finish there where you dropped him and then you finished him with just one shot.
Well, yeah, the round before that, I noticed, you know, my coaches kept telling me stop loading up. You know, I was loading up a lot this fight because the first couple of clean shots that I landed on him, I knew I hurt him. You know, so I was trying to give the crowd what they wanted, and that was a knockout. And I was loading up, but then when I started letting my hands go, that's when I started, you know, landing more fatal shots. And after I dropped him with the uppercut, I came back. I was like, all right, he's parrying my jab. I'm going to fake the jab and just come out with the right hook.
It took you a long time to switch to the orthodox stance. Why was that? Then once you did, it changed the fight.
Well, I wanted to come out orthodox from the jump, but my coach was just like, go southpaw and jab, you know, see what he got. And I was like, all right.
You do it once again here at Madison Square Garden, another knockout win. Most importantly, 2020, everyone's expecting great things from you. Who do you want?
Well, listen, I've been saying I'll fight anybody. I've been saying that for I don't know how long, so I don't really got to call out anybody. You know, I fought my mandatory. That's because I had to. I'm not ducking anybody on the PBC side or even on the top-ranked side of the platform. I'm like I said, y'all pick them, I'll fight them.
You pick them. Who would it be? You're the guy that calls the shot.
Well, listen, man, if I could pick them, I would have fought all the guys that I picked before. So there is no need to say any names because, you know, everybody know who I want to fight. I want to fight all the top guys. It's simple.
Thank you very much, bud. Congratulations.
Hey, shout out to my cousin Mandrell. Shout out to my kids at home. Shout out Manny Ponce. And RIP to my grandpa, Willie McNeil.
Rest in peace.
That's commonplace for Bud Crawford to be thinking of others at one of the pinnacle moments for him. Bud Crawford is now 36-0 with 27 knockouts as he put on a show here at MSG, and give credit to Kavaliauskas, who landed 118 punches and put forth a good effort. That's the most by any Crawford opponent. And a reminder that the night continues because UFC 245 right now, you can go over, and UFC 245 pay-per-view is exclusively on ESPN+. You got Usman and Covington for the welterweight title there. So head over to ESPN+. We'll wrap things up from New York when we come back. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. That was Teofimo Lopez earlier tonight as he won a world title at 22 years old. And then the dominating Terence Bud Crawford with his 9th round TKO of Egidijus Kavaliauskas. A reminder that SportsCenter is coming up next with Kenny Mayne and Michael Eaves. They will tell you everything you need to know on the night in the NBA. Plus, an emotional Joe Burrow, a record-setting Heisman Trophy win, and how a Connecticut high school won its championship football game today. SportsCenter coming up right after Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. This was a fun night. This was a night that had a little bit of everything. And in the end, it had that guy who, as we said, listen, we've called thousands of fights. We've seen everything from prospects to world champions. You know when somebody's different. Bud Crawford's different.
All I'm going to say is this, Tess. The only real man over at PBC is Deontay Wilder. You want to know why? Because he's going to be fighting Tyson Fury in February. Now, you guys over there, all the other welterweights over there, this man is begging to fight you. And he's going to continue to beg to fight you guys. Guys need to put your big boy pants on and need to come over and make this fight with Terence Bud Crawford because he's the best welterweight in the world.
Listen, here's the bottom line. You can talk about all the promotional lines and the politics of boxing you want. If a fighter wants a fight, a fight's going to get made.
That's right.
Bud Crawford will fight anybody. A fight's going to get made if a fighter wants a fight. Dre, your final thoughts on the evening.
Shout out to the young fella, Teofimo Lopez.
Yes.
He's dealing with a lot. He shouldered it. He performed under the lights. He fulfilled his father's prophecy to become a champion with under 15 fights or at 15 fights. He earned the right to face Vasily Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford, I didn't need to see this tonight to know what he had in him. That's why he's been atop my list for as long as he has. This just confirmed and proved what I already knew. He's going to be a hard man to beat, man, because he's competitive. And if you hit him, some guys, when you knock him down and when you hurt him, they come back stronger, and he did that tonight.
Yeah, he was willing to make a fight of it and finishing it on his terms. The outcome that many of us expected, just not the path taken that we expected, but I agree with you. The biggest takeaway for me tonight was Teofimo Lopez. This place was roaring.
Yes.
It was electric. And now in 2020, we should be seeing him in against Vasily Lomachenko.
Can't wait.
Let's get our final thoughts from Max Kellerman and Mark.
Thanks, Joe. I also thought Teofimo Lopez he was going to steal the show, right? After that knockout, it was electrifying. And then we had a hell of a welterweight title fight at the Garden tonight. You know, heading into this fight, if Kavaliauskas knew that Crawford would fight that kind of fight, say, thank God, that's exactly what I want him to do, and it still didn't matter. The champ got dropped, he got up off the deck, and he imposed his will and his skill and his punching power and physical strength on the challenger and knocked him out. There is one man who I believe will be the name that gets in the ring with Terence Crawford. Much like when people were ducking Triple G, you knew Canelo was the kind of guy who would take him on. Showtime Sean Porter is the kind of guy who's been shouting him out, who will fight everyone. And my prediction would be that's the guy who's going to wind up making a fight with Bud Crawford, the best welterweight in the world.
Well, Porter's the guy who brings out everyone's greatness, including last time out, his own. But as far as Kavaliauskas tonight, he was a two-time Olympian. He was supposed to be feared. Tonight, we were reminded why. He said that Crawford is not going to try to survive. He will fight me. That worked to his advantage for a while. There were a lot of components to Crawford's greatness. Tonight, we saw his ability to finish highlighted.
He's so stubborn. He wouldn't switch up southpaw. As soon as he did, he knocked him down, and it was the beginning of the end.
He's cursed with his own competitiveness sometimes.
Right. He's a great fighter in his prime. So is Lomachenko, and Lopez is going to fight him next. A lot of good stuff. SportsCenter coming up right now, and we're going to be talking some boxing in SportsCenter.